Welcome to the podcast for and about Colorado Springs. I'm your host, Brittany Felix, and every Monday through Friday, I'll be talking about a different aspect relating to the Springs, including upcoming events, restaurant reviews, local business spotlights, media coverage about the Springs, public works projects, local activities, answering your questions about the city, and much, much more. Be sure to subscribe to this podcast so you don't miss any of the updates. And also follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. You can find links to all of those social media accounts at springspodcast.com/social media. The Colorado Springs podcast is proudly sponsored by Elevation Hydration. Elevation Hydration is the only hydration therapy clinic serving Colorado Springs, and they are dedicated to helping you elevate your life. They use intravenous vitamin therapy to help athletes needing a boost of energy or help recovering after a tough competition, people experiencing cold-like symptoms or dehydration from the flu, anyone needing to recover quickly from a rough night out. I'm looking at you, college kids. And just anyone wanting a healthy alternative to preventative care. They have a wide variety of hydration packages to help address whatever your needs are. They're conveniently located inside Lush Beauty Lounge at 812 Village Center Drive, and if you mention this podcast during your visit, you'll receive $10 off any hydration package. To learn more about Elevation Hydration or to schedule an appointment, visit springspodcast.com/hydrate. Welcome to episode 19 of the Colorado Springs podcast. It is Tasty Thursday. I decided to change it up a little bit from Tasty Tuesdays. And this week I am going to be featuring Jose Muldoon's for my restaurant review. And Jose Muldoon's is probably a place that if you've lived here long enough, I'm sure you've been. They do have two locations, one on the east side of town and one downtown. But if you're new to the area or just visiting, you may not have had a chance to check it out yet, and I highly encourage that you do so. It is our go-to Mexican restaurant, and Brian and I absolutely love Mexican food. And I would honestly say that probably 7 out of 10 times when we go out to eat, it's to Mexican. Actually, that number may even be a little bit higher. And Jose Muldoon's is our go-to place for a few different reasons, actually. But we place a lot of emphasis on the salsa at a Mexican restaurant. We love chips and salsa, like love it. And Jose Muldoon's salsa is that perfect combination of not too runny, but not too chunky, because I hate chunky salsa. So it's very well blended. And even more importantly, it's the perfect combination of flavor and heat. I like my salsa to have a little bit of a kick. And I especially love it when you can taste the cilantro in it. I've mentioned that before. I'm a cilantro freak. So I hate it when the salsa is too powerful and it drowns out that cilantro, and this doesn't. It's got great flavor. You can taste the cilantro, just enough heat that my husband, who likes spicy things, enjoys it, and myself, who's not quite so fond of spicy things, can also still enjoy it. And before I really go any further about the food and the typical things that get talked about in a restaurant review, I want to talk about some of the things that are unique to Jose Muldoon's, and that is the fact that it has been a Colorado Springs staple for over 40 years, which is pretty incredible, and that they are committed to being actively involved in this community. And one of the ways that they do that is with the Muldooniacs Running Club. Yes, they actually have their own running club. They meet every Wednesday between 6 and 6:30. I believe it's at the east side location. But they've got a flyer on their website that lists all of the information. You do a run, and then afterwards you actually get a free adult beverage if you're of age. And you kind of get to hang out with the rest of the members in the running club and just get to make friends and socialize while having fun and being healthy at the same time. Well, maybe minus the alcohol, but healthy beyond that. And I will have a link to this flyer in the show notes on my website so that you can have this information. It looks like they do run on the Homestead Trail, just to give you an idea. It is actually a mixture of packed dirt, paved trail, and running on the road. And everyone, regardless of your skill level or expertise, is encouraged. Even if you don't want to run, they still say, come, walk, have fun, socialize. And speaking of adult beverages, the bar actually features over 50 different tequilas and the city's largest selection of Mexican import beers. So getting back to their food, they do have all of the typical things that you expect from a Mexican restaurant: quesadillas and burritos and enchiladas and fajitas and tacos, all kinds of things. They even have salads and burgers for people who aren't that crazy about Mexican food. So if you have a big group of people and you want to go eat somewhere, this is a good place because there's going to be something for everybody. And I actually have ordered a variety of different things off the menu, and I've not been disappointed yet, so I don't think that you can go wrong. They've got some great combo meals that are very budget friendly, and they have happy hour specials that go until 7 p.m. Monday through Saturday. They've got lunch specials, and something that I actually just learned on our last visit there was that they have Sunday brunch from 10 to 2 p.m., and it comes with a complimentary margarita, mimosa, or sangria, which is fantastic. The thing about brunch for me is I don't like eggs and I don't really like tortillas. So that generally rules out most Mexican breakfast foods for me. However, because they do have a good variety, they also have French toast on their menu. So I am super excited now to go back for brunch and have me some French toast with a complimentary mimosa. And two of the items that are favorites for my traditional group of people that I go with is the Aztec dip, and that is a mixture of ground beef, refried and black beans, tomatoes, guacamole, sour cream, and chili con queso. Now, I personally don't like this dish because I hate refried beans, so that kind of rules it out for me, but everyone else that I go with always absolutely loves it and raves about it. My personal favorite is actually the chili con queso, which is so good. I am a little bit lactose intolerant, so cheese doesn't exactly cooperate with me, but I am willing to suffer through the consequences for their chili con queso, which is probably one of the highest compliments I can pay food. It's something that I look forward to every time that we go. So again, you really can't go wrong here. Like I said, salads, burgers, tacos, enchiladas, fajitas, burritos, French toast on Sundays for brunch, and happy hour drink specials that seem pretty good. So I recommend, if you have not been to Jose Muldoon's, go and give it a try. And if you have another Mexican restaurant that is your go-to favorite, let me know about it. I am always up for trying new places, obviously. So I want to hear what those recommendations are, and, maybe we can add another one into our rotation since we do go quite often. One other thing I want to mention before I end this episode here is that Jose Muldoon's actually does participate in a loyalty program, which I only just now learned in doing the research for this episode, and I will definitely be utilizing from now on. For every $1 that you spend, you earn a point, and 100 points gets you basically $10 in concept cash, is what they call it. And that basically is just the name of the program. It's a local and loyal rewards program for the Concept family of restaurants here. And those restaurants are, of course, Jose Muldoon's, but they also include the Ritz Grill, Mackenzie's Chop House, Flatiron's American Bar and Grill, and Southside Johnny's. So again, at all of those locations, every dollar that you spend earns you a point, and 100 points gets you $10 off. So if you go frequently enough, especially if you go with a group of people, a family, you're going to acquire that in just a couple of visits, so might as well take advantage of that program. I will have a link to the menu, their website, the information for the running club, and information for the local and loyal rewards program in the show notes on my website, and you can find those at springspodcast.com/019. Again, those are the actual numbers, 019. I want to take just a quick second here to ask you to subscribe to this podcast if you are not already. Restaurant reviews are going to be happening every week, as well as continuing to discuss the events happening around the city, public works projects, answering frequently asked questions, or bringing up topics that are important to Springs residents, all kinds of things. So if you want to know about the Springs, subscribe to this podcast on iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, Podcast Addict, wherever you're listening to this at, so you don't miss any episodes. And also follow me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. I'm kind of everywhere. And if you want to find them easily, just go to springspodcast.com/social, and there are links to everything right there for you. And most importantly, I want to ask, if you have found anything in this podcast helpful, please share it with your friends and family who are here in the Springs or considering moving to the Springs. Sharing this podcast and getting the word out about it and these topics related to the Springs is important, and it's really going to help spread the information that a lot of Springs residents want and need. Thank you so much for listening in today, and I will see you back here tomorrow for another Free for All Friday.